Hello and welcome to the Pandaverse. I'm Elgon, the E and C and E.
And I'm Christine, the C in the C and E.
And we're here today with Terri Peake, who's an author. She writes children's books now. She's authored an autobiographical thing previously. It was pretty intense, and that's actually how we met. And Terri and I go back a little ways. Like we spent an afternoon together in Irvine, in Tustin area in California. She lived about an hour away from me. We went to, what was it, Five Guys?
Yeah.
And it was so loud in there we couldn't hear each other.
But their French fries are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we went. I'm Irish. I gotta have the potato.
Yeah, it's my girl right there.
And then we
Keep that nice.
A couple of months later, we spent all day and all evening together in Burbank. We drove up to Burbank and auditioned for Let's Make a Deal.
Great.
Can you
show.
Imagine me on Let's Make a Deal?
Yes,
yeah.
I can.
I dragged him into it, of course.
That was fun. That was a trip. We were like right outside the gates to the Warner Brothers studio in Burbank, and that's where our audition was. It was in like an office or something, like an apartment or an office, and they were queuing up people there, and they did like a video interview, which Terri did very well on because she's experienced being an actress. And I was like fish out of water completely. And she got a call back amazingly, and I didn't. Yeah.
I did the home version too, so I've been all kinds of home versions since COVID hit, and which has been amazing. Yeah, I've done lots of network television from little old Washington State. Yeah, it's been great.
Oh,
I've learned a lot technically.
Yeah.
Sorry?
What shows have you been on?
Oh my gosh, America's Funniest Videos, Let's Make a Deal. I have lots of television commercials out as well. I just did a dog food commercial. I've done Aspiration Bank commercial. I did Frank's Red Hot Sauce commercial. I'm up for a commercial for Orthodontist right now. It films tomorrow, so I'm waiting to hear back from them. I did, I did a show on Fox called Tag. What was that? Tag. Oh my gosh, I'm getting older. I forget. It was a newer show. Gosh, I've just been in those 3 times. I've turned to comedy now. I did the Caroline Ray show, Caroline the Game.
Yeah.
Which was a game show, and I actually won that one. That was great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I've been in the business 40 years since I was 16. So it's just too much to mention at this point, but I still keep rocking and rolling and still keep going. And I kind of got fortunate because I left LA right when COVID hit and thought, well, it's time for me to retire. I'll just be a grandma now and write books. I've done everything I've wanted to do. And don't you know that COVID, it followed me here, and they said, well, we're doing everything remotely now. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
I do a lot of
COVID's changed the way everybody lives.
Yeah, it's been good for me, actually. So,
yeah, Christine. Christine's still recovering. She had She had a bout recently.
I did.
Down.
Every other couple days, I'll feel kind of rough. Today was one of those days. I felt a little feverish, headache. So I slept a little bit today. It comes and goes.
Yeah, you just gotta.
I know you've been sick for quite a while.
Yeah, I think I have some long hauler symptoms. Yeah. So hopefully that'll go away eventually. I'm just gonna keep taking my Flintstone vitamins.
There you go. There you go.
You
Wow.
doing the chewable ones or
Oh yeah, the gummies.
the gummies? Oh, okay. I was a little worried.
Wow. Yeah, I know lots of people that have it. I know somebody that has it right now too, and she keeps being told she has it and she doesn't have it, but she's really sick. She's had it before, and her son was supposed to have surgery and they had to reschedule it because she tested positive. So she just told me that today. Her son has seizures and he really needs his surgery, but they have to wait till she recovers now. So.
Oh no. Oh. Wow.
I know.
Yeah, it's a rough situation.
Yeah.
So,
that's why I keep doing television and keep doing fun stuff, because we've all faced so much.
Absolutely.
You know, and
absolutely.
I don't want the kids to get left behind because the kids have to watch all the grown-ups. So that's why I wrote Grouchy Grownups, because I just felt like, you know, somebody needs to speak directly to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so tell us a little bit about your book.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so right after COVID hit, like I said, I moved to Washington and just planned on being a grandma. And I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old granddaughter and grandson. And right after that time, shortly after that time, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And yeah, it was a pretty scary time. And they thought it might be brain cancer. And I was like, COVID? Who cares about COVID? I got a brain tumor. You know?
Right.
And it was like, it was just, yeah, it was unbelievable to have both of those things happen at the same time. And I was, you know, understandably upset and of course my grandchildren didn't understand. And I was trying to explain to them why grandma was grouchy sometimes. So I ended up explaining to my little grandson, and through me and him talking about it, we came up with the story, Grouchy Grownups. And it's a father telling his son about how the world changed, and how the world got sick and why the grownups might be grouchy.
Aww.
Yeah, it's COVID related. And I did a series of 10, and this is the first one. And I really I even went through the election. The election's even in the book. And it's all illustrated with characters. So the main characters, Father Alligator and a Son Gator. And I picked alligators because alligators are so grouchy, but we love them anyway, don't we? We still love the alligator. So I thought it would be a great animal to represent being grouchy. And so it's really basically the father telling the little gator how things changed and how some of us became grouchy. And then, of course, it's got a good ending at the end, how we turn it all around and all of that. And the funny thing that happens, though, with the book, every page is illustrated with the words, of course. And I did all the illustrations first myself. And then I hired a young person to illustrate in crayon. So it's beautifully illustrated in crayon, very bright, vibrant colors, and all critters, all characters. And the one scene in the book is they're in the lab trying to figure out the COVID. And the giraffe has the clipboard. He's in a white coat, you know, and you've got the little piggy with the curly cute tail, and he's got the microscope and he's looking under. And it's just very simply done, but also very understandable, I think, and helps the children understand. And then, of course, we have scenes where they're cleaning up the classroom and wearing masks, and kind of how things all got started in the first place without going to China. We didn't go to China, but, you know. I went with the pollution and the, you know, just the world has been polluted from the trucks and the buses. I kept it kind of simple for the kids, you know.
Right. Aww.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. And
you have a
the funny thing is, I got to tell you
one
last thing. Just one last thing, Elgin. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The funny thing that happened that I didn't even realize, because you don't when you do these things, is my grandson, when I told him about his book, I says, okay, I'm picking it up. It's at the printers, you know, it's almost done. And I said, and I wanted to test him, you know, if he remembered the story and stuff. I said, so what's the name of your book? He said, Grouchy Grownups. And he says it like it's an anthem, like it's a superhero, like he has permission to call all of us grouchy now.
Oh, how cute.
So loud and proud. Like, you're all a bunch of grouchy grown-ups. Yeah.
How fun.
So do
Aw.
you have a sample you could show us?
Sure do.
Oh, wait. Oh,
Yeah, hold it back a little bit.
oh, look at it. How stinking cute is that?
I know, and I had to do it in a flip book because, see, I'm trying to go grassroots and go back old school. I'm
Yeah.
really over the big corporate. I'm over it. I really just did this because I want to inspire children to write their stories. So I'm going to help publish for children, kids for kids type deal. And this was just kind of to show them that they can do it too. They just have to start. And I wanted to do it in this, and I did it like a calendar book, like a flip. It's got a, you know, it's flip style.
Fun. Oh, look
So
at
as
how
you read it,
cute that is.
you flip the pages, and there they are fishing and Daddy Gator telling.
How neat.
So the alligators are purple, like Barney's cousin.
Yes, I had it that way. I did. And it's so funny because, like, I didn't even plan on it, but like somebody, because of Halloween, they had the Dollar Tree had the alligator masks of all things, and they were purple and green. So I snatched those up so that the kids, when they get their book, they can take a picture with the masks on in their book.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun, you know. So I'm trying to do just little mom and pop places and really just keep it local. And I do want to do some things at the library and donate proceeds to literacy programs.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm just going to cheat and show you one more page. I am sending you both a book, by the way.
Oh, great. I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait. All I ask is that you share it with someone.
I have children, so.
Yeah, my grandson's got a birthday coming up.
This is, I don't know if you can see it. This is the lab.
Oh,
They're in the lab.
look at the giraffe.
He's
That
my
is
favorite.
so well illustrated.
Yes, she did a fabulous job.
Yes.
She's in her 20s. And she basically was just a doodler. She doodles at work when she worked with my son. And my son was like, Mom, you got to see this girl's doodles. He didn't even know I was working on a book. And I said, a doodler, huh? And he said, yeah, she doodles all day. I said, well, let me see. I saw the detail. I said, give me your number. And I called her. And so, yeah, she's done really good. I send her each picture that I design, I draw. And I'm not an artist at all. I'm a creative, but I'm not an artist. But I'll tell you what, my art's gotten pretty darn good from doing each one sent into her. And then she adds her own flavor to it, which is beautiful. Yeah.
How awesome. Yeah, they look great. It looks great.
So cute. And they're sturdy because I had them do it like a calendar, like stock paper, thick stock paper. You know, because kids, you know, their hands they're not really good with turning little pages in books.
Right, yeah.
So I made it very hard, pretty and sturdy, like a little calendar book. And
that's good. Yeah,
my son wanted to see how it would.
Yeah, my grandson's like he'll be 3 in December, so he's rough on books.
That's why I made it this way. I wanted it to be sturdy, and then they can just carry it around. They could throw it in their backpack or whatever, and it's so sturdy you can like wipe it off even, you know.
Oh, nice.
So, but I am gonna go and do the Amazon and put it up there like my other book and all that. My other book's on Smashwords right now is an ebook. I'm gonna try to get it up for Thanksgiving, but I didn't copyright it yet, and I had some issues with my other stuff. So now that I got my laptop, I got a new laptop. I can just kind of get to it. It's just kind of hard to remember how to do everything, like formatting and stuff. Because then I can really crank them out a lot faster and get them up time for, what do they call it? Black Friday, that way. Because I really want to donate to literacy. I really do. I want to really help the kids with this. It's not about money for me. It's more about getting myself together so I can help others do their dream. Everybody has a story and a book in them.
They do.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
And the kids need a way to express themselves. So, I really made it easy for myself to do so that I could show how easy it is for, when parents say, well, my son would be great at that, well, how do we do that? So it's not this big monstrous, like, well, we had to go through when we did our book, or with the publishing, how it is, you guys, how people get taken easily, they see all those things online and they pay $1,500 to do all that. I'm not going to do all that. Just going to help them publish their book,
Right.
So I'll say, got me something, whatever. It's a God job. That's how I look at it.
I don't think most people realize that it's gotten a lot easier to do a book. There's if you self-publish on Amazon, pretty much they've got all the tools there, and you just have to follow instructions. Doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but
right.
There's some issues with Amazon as well, but
yeah. I'm just over Amazon. I'm over all the big corporation. I really want to do it grassroots, and I'm just going to start with one state at a time. That'll keep me busy for a while.
Actually smart. That's the best way to do it. You start local and you branch out from there. You establish a base that you can gain some support, and you get the book in libraries or schools or whatever, and right. build the base there.
Well, I gave 20 away for free already in this small town. I've given it to bus drivers, librarians, everybody that wants it, and neighbors and whatnot. And so far, everybody loves it. So I know the buzz is out there because it's a small town, and we're getting ready to have holiday festivals and different things like that. Little arts and craftsy stuff. So I'll be sat there, and because I named my publishing Gingerbread Visions, I'm going to be just as Mrs. Claus all the time.
Oh my God, I don't have to be great at that.
Yeah, Elgon can share the pictures with you. I wish he was here because I'm already booking gigs here. I've got one for the Youth Services Center and the Adult Services Center, and everywhere I go, they go, "Well, do you know any Santas?"
Oh my gosh, it would be great.
I know, and we work well together, and my Mrs. Claus is really cute, and together, man, we would just probably rake in all kinds of money, but we're not.
Okay, you better buy a plane ticket.
I know. If I book like 5 or 10, I'm going to pay for you to come out, Elgon, okay?
He would be so great. You guys would be so great.
Hosting. Yeah. It's not that expensive from Vegas to Seattle.
Well, if you came down to Vegas, I'm sure we'd find some gigs here too. So
either way, absolutely. So
we have yeah, I have the picture. I think I showed it to Christine before, but I've got.
You have.
I'll when I go through and edit it, I'll superimpose the picture over a few frames so everybody can see, because you make an excellent Mrs. Claus.
Well, I'm short enough that I could play one of your elves.
There we go. There we go.
Christine's actually a hobbit, so she's gonna have to rework her ears a little bit to be an elf, but.
Oh my goodness. So what are you working on next?
Well, I'm also working on a documentary because I do film and stuff like that, and I do work with the colleges. I just made a connection with the Central Washington University a couple days ago. I finally reached out to them because they do have a film department in theater arts, and I did films for USC, Azula Pacific, all of them. And so that's another way I like to volunteer and give back to help the students. And plus, they don't have a lot of moms hanging around campus, so they offer often when they do their student films, they need a kind of a mom or a grandmom kind of in the file, the Rolodex, So I'll do that. But I'm also going to take them, and Elgon can fill you in, based off my book, my life story. I'm in talks right now with some deals, hopefully for a Netflix deal. But they're only using the part of the story that involved the high profile case in my story. The other part of my story is my actual life. And so I was assaulted a few years ago. That's how I ended up with the brain tumor. And I actually have the 911 call. The whole assault was captured on 911. And instead of just releasing it on the internet, I think I'm going to take it to the school and put together a little documentary on violence. It was the person was a real monster. He was a narcissist, a real narcissist, not what people talk about. People taking too many selfies, but someone that does the whole gang stalking, all of that, like a real criminal element, like a Dear John,
Right.
And I still deal with it. And that person reached out, even though they're not allowed to. So to kind of stay safe, I have to stay in the public eye. The more people that know about me and my story, the safer I become. And so I'm going to be working on that documentary called From Charm to Harm. And it's going to have the 911.
Wow.
Is this the time that you?
He was a filmmaker. I met him at the airport. Yeah, I met him at an airport. We were on a canceled flight together. I wasn't looking for a date, none of that. And he was a filmmaker, and I had a big book out. They stuck us together for 30 hours. We ended up talking about his life, my life, and from there. But I had no idea he was a criminal, like an actual criminal. And I wish I would have known. So I really talk to women about doing background checks, and not just for their, credit check, but an actual criminal background check. Because I would have known then he had 108 arrests. I would have never even given him the time of day.
Wow.
But, he was a filmmaker. I helped him finish his film. And it was just all lies, really. Crazy story. So I'm taking that to the students. And I'm going to do it myself because I'm tired of being cheated by the big wigs. I'm going to take it to the students and submit it in the film festivals, because I literally every day, because I am a member of I'm IMDb on the actors database, every single day I get sent submissions for film festivals all over the world. Sydney, I mean, every single one, Canada, and they're just sitting there and I'm being invited to submit. And so I'm going to submit a short. I'm going to do a documentary. That's what I'm going to do.
How great.
Came together recently. I was so scared to call the college because I thought they were going to be like, no, we don't want you. And actually, they were all about it.
Yeah, you got to reach out to people, because a lot of times you don't know who's looking for somebody.
Absolutely.
You just got to ask. And sometimes they may not be looking for somebody, but you put the bug in their ear,
I want to share my films with the students so they can see that they can work here from Ellensburg, because a lot of kids, they pay a lot of money to go to college and then they don't get to fulfill their dreams.
Right.
And LA and New York is a long ways from here, but I'm also showing them that you can film from home and you can also work out of Seattle. Seattle is becoming a bigger market. So I want to get in there and encourage them and let them know that don't listen to the naysayers. You did this for a reason. Keep going. I'm at 60. They told me I was delusional, that my career was 30 years ago, and I'm proving them wrong because I'm still going. And every day I get hit up to do something new. Thank you, honey.
Amen. Everybody listen to her.
And you've got Vancouver right across the border too. That's a big place now. Yeah.
And it's like
and
every day God.
And having spent some time in Hollywood with you that one day, I can tell you I'm not really all that impressed with the place. Okay? I mean, it was interesting. It's interesting to see all that stuff. But
people always say that. I've heard that for 40 years. Everybody I ever tell that I'm an actress, they always have something to say about Hollywood. But the thing is a lot of true stories and good human interest stories come out of there. And my goal is just to kind of let people know that it can be done. I've done everything on my own. I didn't have an agent or a manager. And now that I've kind of got my own little key in there, I want to help others do what they want to do. And, a lot of people gave up their dreams to do a regular job because it was, it wasn't okay to be a musician or give up your dream. You had to give up your dreams to provide food on the table, right, Elgon? Yeah. And if you were a writer or a musician or an actor or actress, oh, well. And those people, they got old, but their dreams are still inside them. They still have those gifts. They still love doing those things. I want to just help.
Christine and I know
that really well.
dozens and dozens of people that have, they set aside their writing because they had to, they had a kid, they got married, they, did this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
But then, COVID has forced everybody to reevaluate what they've been doing for the past 30 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all realize they can have a little, I believe in 5 streams of income. So when I start telling them about a new project, like I'm supposed to film tomorrow a commercial, they're like, what about the book? What about the book? I can do all those things.
It's called multitasking.
I have a lady with many talents.
My kids are grown. My grandkids don't live by me. What am I going to do? Sit here and rock in a rocking chair? I got more energy now than ever. I'm not going to stop.
Good. No, your energy is infectious.
Thank you. Elgon, poor Elgon, he had to put up with me all day, and we have complete opposite personalities. But we had the best time, didn't we?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We were going to go to the world famous restaurant, but they were having an auto show there, so we went down the street, and it was like a diner type place, but it was nice. I mean, the food was good, and we talked, and there were people around us and we're talking and everything, but
Elgon, could you imagine having both of us with you at the same time?
Oh my.
You're my daughter. You're a lot like my daughter.
I wouldn't have to talk.
24. She came out before she was grown. Yeah. So anyways, I'm so glad you're feeling better. I see you have color in your cheeks.
Finally. Yes.
Good.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I think I've gained back 10 more pounds. So I lost 20. I think I've gained like 30. So I like cheeseburgers. Now I do.
I'm a cheeseburger girl. Guess what I had right before you guys came on? I had chicken cordon bleu.
I'm getting ready.
Chicken cordon bleu.
I'm gonna make bratwurst patties. My dad is a butcher, so he's German, and he's got like a secret recipe so he'll make like his homemade brat like mixture. So that's what I'm gonna make for supper tonight. It's gonna be good.
Yeah. Elgon just eats nuts. He doesn't eat anything else. He already told me about
it. Yeah, Christine's allergic to nuts. So I like drive her crazy when I say, "Oh yeah, I was just eating some almonds."
Well, we went on a drive one day down in southern Ohio, and he's like picking up a bag of almonds. And I was like,
I think that's funny, Elgon. Because every time I call you, I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Eating almonds." Right? At least twice.
That's true. That's a fact.
Yeah. So wow. So what are you guys working on?
I'm trying to finish up the 3rd installment of my book series, so that way Elgon doesn't like stab me in the leg. He threatens me all the time.
Well, I want to read it before I forget the story.
So I'll be working on that all week. I'm on vacation by myself. So.
Oh, that's good. No excuses then.
No excuses.
No
Yeah.
excuses.
Did you hear that? You better write it that down. Oh gosh, she just said it. It's like when you're gonna quit smoking, don't tell anybody. Hey, you guys, I thought of something. The segue with the college is going to really be a good thing for authors too. Once I get my my new website set up, I had to get my new laptop first. I had to decide which one to do first, and I went with the laptop. So I've got a website coming online pretty soon. By next month, I've already got someone to do it for me. And from there, I'm also going to help other authors with doing documentaries and stuff like that too. Because, the students, they write their own stories a lot of times too, but they also, like to hear, get stories and stuff like that. And it's a great way to do it without having to pay a studio, if you know what I mean. The schools love that kind of stuff. And so once I get my little worm my way in there, it's a great avenue, as well as I also work with the colleges here and I do radio and stuff. So as Elgon can tell you, I'm always getting my way in here and there because they all link up. So
Right.
When I'm on radio, I can talk about the book. When I'm in the studio, I can talk about the books. But really, it's all going back to story. And I like to be able to link that and make it easier for authors to be able to make their stories come to life. Once they've had their book, then everybody also wants it to be made a movie or a Lifetime. And I've worked on all those sets. I did a Lifetime movie even. So, I really have a good, broad understanding and experience in all genres of all of it. And I want to be able to put it all together in a deal. If I make some money off of it, great. But it's really just about the purpose and linking and getting that storytelling all in one place.
Yeah, a lot of the authors that we know are waiting for somebody to call and tell them that, I happened to read your book and it's great and I want to make a movie out of it. And that's not how it happens.
I want to be that lady. I want to be that one to call and go, I've got some great news for you. This is Terri Peake calling, and I'm all ready. I've got a whole film crew ready to shoot your story. How does that sound? And then go,
great, Terri. This is great.
A lot of, there's a lot of independent filmmakers out there that, they may or may not have a good story themselves, but they would like to work with authors. And, if you're an author that has the talent to turn a manuscript into a script, that's one direction to go with it. Otherwise,
it's all about content. You can't get enough content.
Yeah. Right.
Otherwise, you're looking at making a show Bible and showing it around to all the big shots and
everything's different now, Elgon. Everybody tries to go by.
That's a pain in the ass.
There is no set way of doing it. That's what I'm showing. There is no set way. All those old ways are dead and gone. All the sets and music, I've worked on 3 music videos. Every time I'm on set, I'm the oldest one there. Everything that I learned and was taught is not how it is now. It is not the same. And people are still stuck with, well, you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. It's not true. None of it's true. There's so many ways of doing things.
You can get a decent camera or even an iPhone and film a movie on it. Put it on your computer, edit it.
They want it that way. They want it done that way, actually, because they want authenticity. They don't want actors anymore. They don't want anything polished. They want everything raw and gritty and rough. And it's amazing because that's what's really selling now. And I've seen full movies made on an iPhone. That look amazing. But it's all about, because there's so many streaming services now, they cannot get enough stories. They cannot get enough content. That's why you'll see the same ones over and over with different faces and names and stuff like that. But it's a whole different way. And I only thought of this just because I'm not even joking. Every day I get 3 to 5 emails from different film festivals, saying that I'm eligible. Please submit, and it's like $40 for me to submit. So, and I've got like 4 student films that I could actually submit, but I'm going to contact them because I know they were doing all that before. And it was closed down because of COVID, but it's all open wide up right now. And I really I would love to get some more stories in there.
You should do it.
I mean, some of these shorts are literally 20-minute long feature, short films.
Yeah.
And
but that's the ideal length for something that's on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. And you've got so many platforms now with all the streaming services. And acting, modeling is so big right now. I do lots of commercials all online. Like when you're watching YouTube and you got those pesky ads, I've been doing tons of those. They're really popular. So there's all kinds of new what do you want to call it? Genres of things. It's like I said, everything that used to be is out. Nothing's being done that way anymore. They don't even care if you're a real model or on TV or whatever. They think you're on Instagram. Whenever I tell somebody I do movies and television, they go, "Oh, on YouTube?" No, on major network television. Just assume it's got to be I'm on Instagram or just YouTube. No, we're talking major films and major networks.
Well,
every network.
Yeah. Well, Terry, people our age are the ones that watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's the old.
Everybody else is.
Oh, you must just be on.
If they have a TV, they're watching Netflix.
Well, what I do is I take a lot of my clips and I upload them on my YouTube channel, and so then when people see them, they think it's just a YouTube thing. No, this was on Fox. No, this was on CBS. No, this was on NBC. I'm now posting it on here for y'all to see it, to share it. They don't get it, and then I do make YouTube videos.
I remember you showed me a check that you got from CBS. She did a show, and they wouldn't tell her anything about the show. They just basically gave her a script and act, and then she found out on the backside when she got paid it was from CBS. Because
this stuff happens.
Everybody in Hollywood's very paranoid about people stealing their ideas.
Yes, it's very true. I did a Disney commercial for the opening of Galaxy's Edge, the new Star Wars ride.
Oh, wow.
I was there before George Lucas, the day before. We filmed it on May 10th. The day before the ride opened, I was there filming the commercial. So I got to do the commercial with Neil Patrick Harris and Key and Peele. And I was like in all this. It was the day before my birthday, so I was super excited.
Heck yeah.
We have the same birthday, don't we? May 11th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was May 10th, and I was so excited. Of course, I'm not shy, and so I get there, and I'm like, how am I going to make myself memorable here? Because all this other stuff is memorable. I got to be memorable too. So of course, I said during one of the breaks while we were on set, right outside the ride, right in front of the starship that's crashed through the thing, and I go, "Oh, this is so great being here the day before my birthday. This is such a dream come true." And of course, they all said happy birthday and had to sing happy birthday. Of course, then they remembered me from that day because I'm the lady that's birthday it was. So you just got to find a way to be memorable and get in there. But I got in every scene because of that, because after that, I became familiar to the director. He was like, "Oh, come over here. Oh, you come over here. You come over here." And then the funny thing happens is that other people will start to come stand around by me, hoping they get pulled into the scene. It's like, what?
Yeah.
That happened to me on HBO, Insecure, that show. We filmed it at Oxnard at the airport. And they kept calling me into every scene, and people were literally like this. Like, glued to the back of me, and I'd turn around and they'd go.
They want extras. They want people in the background, so it looks like it's a real setting, even though it's all staged.
No, these were people that were told to stand down, and they were not going to be in the shot. And they came and got me, and then everybody was left standing there. And they grabbed me out from the group and took me over to the luggage belt and with the main actors, and left everybody else over there. And then when they took a break, I came back to where the actors were because I hang out with the actors and just saying hi. And of course, they were all asking me questions. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then they came to get me again, and then like two people followed behind me, like they were just gonna act like, oh, we're all going in the scene. And I felt really bad because the director was like, oh no, we just need Terri for this. And then people think you're somebody because they say something like that, right? Then everybody starts whispering, oh, sheeps and sheep.
Yeah, who is she?
Sheep.
Well,
Yeah,
Terri was.
and I like
Terri,
part of it. I like that more than the actual finished product. I don't even care when it comes on the TV or on the screen. I have more fun on the set,
well,
But I like messing.
you've been famous. You've been famous before, so you've seen both sides of it, and it's a strange thing because you start building an ego around being famous, and then all of a sudden the bottom drops out of it, and you're
Yeah,
just
I
a
never.
regular person again.
It depends on what you're in it for. Everybody thinks that, oh, when are you going to make it? You know what? I've already made it. I've done everything I've ever wanted to do. I did a Disney commercial, a Lifetime movie, and been in all kinds of stuff. I am not doing it for the money or fame. And not everybody is. There is a majority of people that are, but there are a lot of people that it's just their craft. I've been acting since I was a little girl, since I was 5 years old, and I'm good at it. And it has nothing to do with money for me or fame. It has to do with my soul and me being joyful and happy. And if I don't get to act and do stuff, I start to get depressed. I like to be out and about. And I really like to do it in the neighborhood. Like people, oh, that's the other thing people think. Oh, well, she's an actress. Well, I don't act in real life. That would be considered lying. I only act in
Yeah, you'd have to go to
hired.
Washington,
I
D.C.
paid
to
to
do
act.
that,
I don't
right?
need to do it in real life. They think that. Yeah, people think that when they're actors, they like drama. No, I actually don't like drama at all. I like it when I'm on set or I'm in theater, but I don't like it in my life. No.
Right.
But people think
Yeah.
they really do. So many misconceptions. But a lot of them are true though. And every time I left Hollywood, I left on my own terms. I left a winner. And part of the reason is I didn't want to be like Marilyn and get chewed up and spit out. And I knew that potential was always there. And when I left after my fiance was murdered, I was starting to drink a lot back then. And I really could have ended up like that. But I quit while I was ahead and I left on my own terms. And again, I've left on my own terms, but they're still coming for me. So I'm going to just play it out. Everybody goes, well, why would I quit when I'm not even applying for these things. They're hitting me up on the phone. Are you available next week? Paid $400. Okay. This time I might as well enjoy it now where I just get those phone calls and emails.
Absolutely.
Feels great.
Yes.
And I don't have to show my body. I don't have to show boobs. I can play Karens now. I'm doing a lot of, also I did a movie like Misery where I play like, because I start off real nice and then I can turn really scary and mean. So I've been doing some of those psychological thrillers.
Oh, nice.
And quite good at it actually, because I look like the nicest lady next
That's right
door.
That's right up. That's right up Christine's. That's right up Christine's alley. She loves horror movies.
That in you too. And now that Karens are famous, I just see the work continuing. I don't see how it's going to ever end. They're all you don't live
That's
here.
funny.
They're key. So, anyways, it's just about the child and healing that if you need to, and enjoying life and not being a grouchy grown up.
Do you have advice for people who are wanting to get into acting or writing, or any of that?
Yes, that's why I wrote my book. I wrote my book. It's a cautionary tale, and I wrote it for young people. I told about every dirty thing I ever did in my life as a centerfold is in that book, because I know young people won't believe you if you don't tell the truth. So I had to tell them about all the party days and all the partying and all of it, so that they would actually listen to the advice. And that's why I wrote my book, 6200 Carbon Canyon Road, to caution others about Hollywood. and that you don't need to just look out for the scary stalkers that are hiding in the bushes or the fans, but you have to watch out for the producers and the stars and all the bigwigs just as much as you do a scary man in the bushes. You got to watch out.
There's evil everywhere.
Yeah, and they'll
her
from you.
fiance got gunned down in his car. And I mean, it was just lucky that you weren't with him at the time.
I left him. Yeah, I left him 6 months before because it was becoming. I had bodyguards. I couldn't go anywhere. I was feeling trapped, and I was traveling a lot, and I just didn't want that lifestyle anymore. I liked the freedom of doing the movies and television and modeling, and I was working for ESPN as an interviewer, and I was really getting far, and I didn't want that lifestyle, the LA lifestyle. He was a former policeman, and his partner on the highway patrol had him murdered. They were partners on the highway patrol together. So that's why I just signed another deal. They're hoping to make a Netflix series. So we're looking for, the contract that I signed is hopefully a 2-year deal, weekly series. And like I said, with everything that happened in the news with the police and all the rioting and everything, this is a story where a cop killed another cop. So it was really popular because that just doesn't happen. Cops kill other people, not each other. So.
And Terry's mostly responsible for figuring out who did the hit. So.
Yeah, I was a material witness in the case. I had to wear a wire. All that was very scary because there was police involved. There was district attorneys involved. We used to party with them. So it could have been anybody at the time. I was in hiding for like 10 years. It was a cold case and then it got solved. Yeah. I still have to worry, not for them, because those people are all dead now, but because this happened in the 80s. But what happens is people think I'm a millionaire. They think that I've got this big story and I have this book out, and that people just assume I've got a lot of money. And so they come for me, and then they think they're going to get in on it. So I have a lot of clout chasers. I don't have nothing right now.
Yeah. I mean, I have what I have. We're all scraping by. That's just the way. This is the way life is.
Exactly. And the thing is too is that I'm a very open and honest person. So it's like people want a part of it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I've been dealing with it all my life. Kind of, I was the girl next door that kind of was sexy, too sexy for my own good. So, I really didn't know. Because I wasn't tall, I got pigeonholed into being a swimwear and sports model, fitness model, because you have to be, 5'7", 5'8" to model clothes. So because I was a gymnast and I was shorter, but I was very developed and well built, I did the sportswear and then became a centerfold and was a Playboy model and all of that. And even back then, I was breaking records because nobody knew you could be a Playboy model and a centerfold for Penthouse at the same time. I'm the only one in history that. I'm the only one that did that. They didn't check. And I didn't tell. I did both. Everybody always thought you had to either work for one or the other. And I did both. And so I consider myself an icon from that. But people want to shame me from 30 years ago, and I'm not ashamed.
No, you shouldn't be.
I lived in Mexico. I was on the most beautiful place to be naked. I'm not ashamed of it. I kept it very classy. But yeah, the old biddies want to bring it up. They want to bring it up.
In my opinion, I think that's a form of art, and it's beautiful.
It is. It absolutely is. And I kept it beautiful, and I've never been ashamed of it. I wouldn't have wrote a book about my life. But yeah, they think they got that aha moment. There's always the aha moment. I can see their wheels turning, and it's like, I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. I've been acting. It's like one other gig. It's just like one other gig that I did. You know what I mean? That was a gig that I did.
Everybody has their own path to follow. Everybody has their own story to tell. So how dare someone come in and try to shame someone else's story, because that's their life. Those are their experiences. And if those experiences are wonderful and they make you happy, then by all means, you do what makes you happy. And it makes me feel bad for other people because they're not experiencing that kind of happiness. Instead, they got to find a way to knock it down a notch, because in all reality, they're just jealous.
Yeah, it really is. And the funny thing is a lot of the ladies, I would even ask them because it's always the old white ladies that want to read it. And it's like, really? Because they're just so damn curious, and it's kind of like, and they all had their sorted, like, come on, they were all doing stuff too back then. They just didn't, they weren't in a magazine. Every woman back there wanted to be in Playboy, and every man wanted to be with a girl that was in Playboy. That's just the bottom line. But men can admit it, women just can't. And like I tell them, I didn't really write this for you. I didn't do this for you. I wrote the book to caution young people, to let them know what to look out for and what they might be getting into, things that people didn't tell me about, that I didn't know about. And I wrote it to them like I'm telling you a story. Right. I'm advising you so that you know what to look out for. So when you go to that audition, you'll say, hey, I read Terri's book and I remember she said this might happen.
Right.
So when they go on auditions, what's okay and what's not okay, and what's normal and what's not, and how to protect yourself. Because it's a lot of the celebrities. It is the celebrities. I mean, I've been assaulted by celebrities. You don't think a celebrity's going to assault you, and they've got bodyguards, so you think you're protected, but the bodyguard's there to keep the story in house and keep you from saying anything or leaving. And that goes on a lot. And, I have even more reason to speak now than I did 30 years ago, because in the news now, there's a lot of young people that are lost, and they all want to be famous and rich and be Instagram famous and go to these concerts and lose their life because there's no common sense left. There's a way to go about things. And, I just don't want, if I can just help a couple young people not get hoodwinked and kind of be able to follow the path, then it's worth it.
Right. I agree. I think that's wonderful.
What was I supposed to do? Take the story to the grave? It's too good a story.
No, the world needs to know.
It's a crazy story. I read it a long time ago.
I'm gonna have to read it.
I still remember it.
I got sick from breast implants. That was the final straw for me, and I got advanced the money to get them. And even though they were saline, I was told they were safe. When I got sick and became bedridden very early and had to have them removed, it was before anybody else had them removed. There was a few of us talking about it, and I was basically the cosmetic surgeons at the time didn't know how to remove them. They just knew how to put them in. And so when I was looking to get them taken out, I was told horrible things, that I would be disfigured and I would be gutted like a fish. And I had to go ahead. My kids were young, and I had to go ahead and make that decision anyway to get them removed, whether I looked horrible or not. And I went ahead and did it. And my own breast tissue grew back because I was always big chested. They were just uneven. And so they just wanted to even me out. And so that's really why I wrote the book, because I was dying. I didn't know if I was going to make it. And I wanted to show my kids, no matter what, you keep going. So I wrote it from the bed. And it took me 20 years to write it. And it took 6 months to get out for me to be out of that bed. And once it came out, I was like, well, I guess I got to go plug the book now. And I didn't want to be embarrassed because I was almost 200 pounds. So I lost 70 pounds living in Vegas, walking in that heat. And the next thing you know, I got my figure back, and I like Benjamin Buttons.
Elgon, it looks like I need to come to Vegas.
He can tell you.
Yeah, just spend a few weeks in the summer here. You'll lose weight.
Didn't I look younger though? Didn't I turn back the clock though, Elgin? You saw it, didn't you? I sure did. And that inspired me to keep going. And then that made me feel joyful. And when you're joyful, you look younger. So it's just been an incredible journey.
Yes. Yeah. Aw.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. I'm so glad that I got to meet you. You really are an inspiration.
Yeah, we've been trying to connect this for a while. Because,
I'm so sorry.
Everybody's schedules were conflicting, and
I'm glad you're feeling better too.
Huh?
I said I'm glad you're feeling better too.
Oh, me too. I hope when I get off here, I'm going to go and look at my email. I'm up for a film out of Portland. It's filming next week. And it's kind of like that other film I did, Ditch Girl, where I'm the mother of a murdered daughter. It's the same type of film. So they just sent me something for that. And then the orthodontist commercial is a local commercial, but I'll probably be getting like root canal or something.
Well, I got my fingers crossed.
I get a free teeth whitening out of it.
Hey.
No, but
Yeah, that's good.
it pays $400, so
That's $400.
And that's the other thing. People think you get paid a lot of money, and it's not millions of dollars like people think. Even the newscaster that I dated who worked on NBC, he wasn't a millionaire either. You'd be surprised. Those people work on television. They don't make as much money as people think.
I agree. Being a writer, my first book came out. They were like, "Oh, Hollywood, you're famous." I'm like, "You have no idea." You just don't know.
It's not like the movies. It's not like what they portray in the movies.
It really isn't. And then they think you're shady somehow. Oh, really? She's got all this money stashed. She just doesn't want anybody to know.
Why are you still working? Get that all done.
I have to remind them that I'm a writer and I can write them in my book at any time. And so I'm working on a book about this place I live called End of the Road. And it's going to be, I'll get to that eventually. I've already started it. It's called End of the Road. And this is the senior living place I live at. And basically, it's going to be an Angela Lansbury whodunit style murder that happens in the old folks' home. And already we've had 4 deaths since I've lived here. So they're giving me plenty of work to work with. And I have never lived in a place that was so drama filled than this old folks' place. I swear to God. So I keep telling them you're going to end up in the book. That's how I keep them at bay. I go, you're going to be in the book. I'm going to make you the bad guy.
You'll live forever in France.